What's going on, guys? Welcome back, and today I'm going to be reviewing another Harry Potter 2019 set, The Rise of Voldemort. This is this year's equivalent of the Graveyard Duel, and LEGO's just knocking it out of the park this year with these cheap $20 sets. This and the Expecto Patronum I think are the best out of the new wave, and just great value for what you get. So let's get into the minifigures here, starting off with Harry Potter, of course. And this is obviously when he is going into like his late, like mid to late teenage years, I'd say. So they've given him the mid legs, of course, and they also use those for Goblet of Fire. He's in his Triwizard uniform, which I really like. You have the red arm on this side, but the black there, the red there, and the black arm on that side. He has the black mid legs. He has the Lloyd Garmadon hairpiece from the Lego Ninjago movie and Ninjago's seasons 8 and 9. Right here in black, which is a great color for his hair in that movie. I was like, what hair would they use for Goblet of Fire? I would never have thought of this hair, and just great value. I think actually back then this hair didn't exist yet, so that's why I hadn't thought of it. But it's weird that they use the same face from the Prisoner of Azkaban sets, because, you know, it's a year later. It doesn't look bad by any means, but it's just kind of an odd choice to use that same face. But other than that, just a great looking figure, obviously the brown wand, and of course, to all my friends who are in the LEGO Alliance and part of the LEGO Alliance, and my friend Pingho Clarkson, you know, we can make an official Ping minifigure now that we have this hair in this color. But anyway, that's it for Harry. Next up, we have this Death Eater, which feels like the most random inclusion of the set here, but it's not a bad figure by any means. I mean, like, in Goblet of Fire, their designs were different than they were in the later films. They eventually decided on what they wanted the design to be. This is a pretty decent figure, though. I love the head there, the printing on the torso. It does look kind of odd that they used the dress piece in black with no printing on it. I mean, I understand it's for budgeting purposes, but it just looks kind of odd when you have this pretty decent torso print and then no leg printing. I can't tell if the gray head is, like, a problem when you print a color on a darker color, and maybe that was supposed to be flesh, but I can't really tell, so, I mean, LEGO, you got away with that there. And then he has this wizard hat in black, which works actually really well for the Death Eater's appearance in that film. So, definitely a weird inclusion, but not a bad figure by any means. Then we have Wormtail, and just, this is probably the second best minifigure of the set, honestly. Just so glad to finally have him, and the hair choice doesn't really bother me, because if they'd use something like the Luke Skywalker hair, then he would look way too much like Sirius, and we don't want all the Marauders to have the same hair. It does look a little Ron-like, but it doesn't really bother me. I mean, if they'd printed this head with a different eyebrow color, then fine. But I mean, that you kind of have to have the hair be orange to match those eyebrows. But this looks great. Great torso printing. You can see a little bit of hair there on his chest because, of course, you know, he was a rat for a really long time because he's an animagus, of course. There you can see the back printing. He has one gray hand because, of course, you know, Voldemort gives him the metal hand after he sacrifices his hand, you know, flesh of the servant, to bring back and resurrect Voldemort. Great face printing here, just really good. And I don't have all the old Harry Potter sets, but have they made a Wormtail figure before? I don't remember. Maybe they included him with the old Graveyard Duel, but I don't remember seeing an old Wormtail. Let me know if they have made him in the past, though. But anyway, moving on to our last main minifigure. The statue technically counts as a minifigure, but I'm not including that in the figure section. We have Voldemort, and this is much more similar to the LEGO Dimensions or the appearance of Voldemort from the old sets, more so than the CMF series from last year, because he's got the black with green, not the fully green like the CMF series last year. The green was actually concept art on what Voldemort was going to look like in the films. He has the white wand, pretty decent torso printing. Once again, no printing on the gown, but it doesn't really bother me because they didn't include leg printing on the old figure. And then this very, like, look at his yellow teeth there. You know, he's got his yellow grin going on there. Pretty good looking for Ralph Fiennes as the character. And then we have the best figure in the set, and just like, this is baby Voldemort. I mean, this is just, I mean, I never think that LEGO includes figures as a joke, but I mean, this is a joke. Like, I mean, in the movie he's more of a Gollum-looking creature, but I never had the baby piece, so it's kind of cool. You can just hold it by the stud on the back. So it's just a little baby bundle with, like, Voldemort's little scowling face right there. I mean, that's, like, this is a joke. Like, seriously, like, they didn't have to do this, but they did, and that's amazing right there. I mean, this is the best figure of the set. Main draw, just amazing-looking figure right here. This is hilarious. But anyway, let's move into the set now and get all these figures out of the way, because there's way too many figures cluttering up the set right now. And we'll move down to the main build for the set, and I'll put Voldemort in his little play feature position for later. But anyway, the build is pretty good for a play set. I mean, it's a really good set right here. So, you know, I just feel like they cluttered it up a little bit. They just put around a lot of pieces here that don't really even up. They don't really look very even, and they just kind of all just stuck them there to make it look more detailed. But, you know, some of them work pretty well, like the plants there. Then you have a tombstone right here with a gold bar piece in gray with a gray frog on top. And I love how it looks almost like a mock or a vignette with the vines actually being like 3D sticking off the build. Another tombstone right there, the Goblet of Fire, not the Goblet of Fire, the Triwizard Cup port key, which obviously brought him and Cedric to the graveyard. Not as good as the Cedric from the CMF series, like the piece that they used there. I really want to get that Cedric figure now. And then there's Tombstone with the Deathly Hallows symbol, which I don't believe there is a Tombstone with the Deathly Hallows symbol in the graveyard. There is one at Godric's Hollow in the Deathly Hallows, but not in Goblet of Fire, I believe. But still a nice sticker. I actually got an extra sticker sheet. I don't know why I did, but I got an extra sticker sheet. So I guess I can use those in future. Then moving over here, we have some orange studs underneath this cauldron, which has Baby Voldemort in there, of course, because they have to do the incantation to resurrect Voldemort, and I dropped the pieces right there. But we've got some pretty grim details in here. We've got, where did the bone go? There should be a bone. I don't know where the bone went, but there is supposed to be a bone. But there was a bone. There is, for, of course, you know, like Bone of the Father, or whatever the heck they say in the movie. This little claw, which is supposed to be Wormtail's hand, flesh of the servant, and then blood of the enemy, I believe is what they say. And there's like a little piece in there that's supposed to represent Harry's blood, which is pretty grim. I mean, this is one of the most violent scenes in the franchise, and that's just a really grim little detail right there. And then moving back here, you know, it doesn't look particularly good from the back, but from this angle, it looks pretty good with this stuff growing off the sides in kind of a 2D angle. We have the Tom Riddle tombstone, and then the statue, which does not really much to it, but it does look pretty cool to... Oh, there's the bone right there, Bone of the Father. But it is cool to get the dress piece in gray. No printing on it, but it looks pretty cool. You have Lloyd's katana from Ninjago right there for the side detail, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, if you want Harry to be trapped in it, because Voldemort or Wormtail enchants the statue to trap Harry with its scythe, so you can just stick Harry there, and he can be trapped by the ghoulish statue. And then, of course, once the ritual is done, Voldemort is like, I'm back! And he just pops out of the ground. In the movie, of course, he comes out of the cauldron, but that's just a really cool looking feature. It doesn't look very bad at all. And just like, you know, even that right there could be like just a tombstone, another tombstone. So that looks really good. And it doesn't pop up far enough or quick enough. Like, it's a very quick feature, so you don't have enough time to dwell on if it looks weird or not. Just a very quick feature. Looks very excellent right there. So great feature there with the Voldemort Resurrection. You know, for a Lego set, of course he comes out of the cauldron in the movie, but for a Lego set detail, that is just pretty good looking right there. So moving on to the ratings for the set, I'm trying to find the Death Eater right here, so I'm just gonna waste my time here trying to find the Death Eater minifigure. I cannot find the Death Eater. But anyway, moving on to the ratings for the set, I mean, this set and the Expecto Patronum set from, oh, there's the Death Eater. I found it. Found it off the corner of my set here. But this set and the Expecto Patronum set are just great value for your money, and just two fantastic sets out of this new wave. Probably the two best. With this set, I don't like it quite as much because the problems can't be fixed as easily, and I don't mind the hinges here. I do think that it looks odd with them just sticking these pieces on to kind of add more 3D elements. It just looks kind of lazy. But I like how it looks kind of like a mock vignette style, similar to the other set. It's a great play set, and it's just a fantastic set overall. Not quite as good as the other one. I have more flaws with this one, the flaw that I just listed. But having 6 figures, counting Baby Voldemort and the statue as well as the main 4 figures, and just the amount of pretty good pieces you get, just fantastic value. I think maybe this, in terms of, I don't like this quite as much as the Expecto Patronum, but I think in terms of value, this is even better. So I definitely recommend, if you're a Potterhead or a Potter fan like me, go pick up this set. It is fantastic. It is that good. But anyway, please let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.